watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome to In the Paint. I'm Darrien
And I'm Calvin Nicholson. Each show we discuss the latest Red Devil basketball game with Coach Retusha Spears, and we break down some of the biggest plays. Now let's slide into the paint.
So Coach, you know, the outcome of the game wasn't what we wanted it to be. Can you just give us a quick recap of the game?
We played Arlington this past Tuesday. In my opinion, Arlington is probably second best team in our league. And just a little recap, our league is probably one of the strongest leagues in the state. For the last 4 years, we have boasted at least 2 teams, including us 3 years ago, were in the top 10. So Arlington this year is their run. I think they're a top 2 team in our league, and we knew it would be difficult. We came out early, we hung around early, but then they raised up the ante, and then they pushed us to a level that our young team wasn't used to. But we hung around early, did some things, but you know, and in the end, they just kind of showed their mettle, how experienced they were and how good they are. But I think, you know, part of the game we did well, just we fell apart doing some things that we wasn't used to, and that's probably because of them more than us.
Coach, what are some of the things you think the team could have did better on last Tuesday?
Just be patient. Patience is hard for a young team because they want to do things before they have earned the right to. And they just have to be patient and trust that what we're doing is what's going to help us win. And sometimes patience and playing the game that we have to this year to win is not something they want to do. We have to play an ugly game, as I say. An ugly game is slow it down, make the people in the crowd go to sleep, make the other team not want to play, and then that to us, in my opinion, and the coaching staff, that will probably give us the best chance to win on some of the powerful teams in our league.
Then, Coach, can you give us some pros and cons of the game?
Pros, we started out like we wanted to. We made the game a little bit boring. We slowed it down. We had the game in striking distance. Striking distance to me is if you're within 8 or 9 points. That means 3 or 4 possessions, you can be right back in the game. So we had it like that. I think we were down 7 at halftime. You yourself missed a couple shots, but I mean, shots that you normally make. And if those go down, it changed the game. So that was just a growing phase. That was some of the pros. We had it where we wanted to, and then we just missed some shots, like I said, that we normally make, and then they capitalized. And that was some of the cons for us. They capitalized, and we did, and then that stretched the league a little bit far for us. But we were there for at least half of the game, so now we just have to put the whole game together.
Well, Coach, there aren't many seniors on this year's team. How does that change the dynamic of the team?
It changes a lot. First of all, you got to put the gloves on. You can't be too aggressive because some of them, even though they may be seniors and even though they may be juniors, a lot of them haven't played a lot under this pressure, meaning that they play like Darrien here. He's now went from about 6 minutes to about almost the whole game now. So that's a big jump, and now you have to get used to playing with that type of pressure that's put on you to play the whole game, not a backup. Like I joke with him a lot about, you know, you can't look around. You know, Chance Terry, one of the top players we had last year, top players in the state last year, he's gone. It's you now. But as a coaching staff, we can't drop all that on one player because they're still young and they have to learn. And then one thing about being also young, the game is happening so fast. Right now we start, a freshman and a sophomore. So that's young. But the good thing about it is we should have these players for the next years to come. But that's some pros and cons about coaching a young team. You're just young and you just got to go through the ups and downs and the ugly part about it with them.
Well, Coach, can you give me you talked about the pros and cons, but I want you to give me some more of the challenges of coaching that young team.
Just getting them to understand the speed of the game. That's probably most of it. Because when you practice, you try to practice, but you get used to the people in practice. You get used to who you're practicing against. And then when the game comes, it's that much faster. It's almost like somebody trying to learn how to drive in the parking lot. You know, you drive, you see it, you know, okay. Then all of a sudden you take them from the parking lot to the expressway. Now you got cars coming at you going 80, 90 miles an hour, blowing, cursing, doing a whole 9, and now you got to make adjustments with that. So that is how you got to look at it. Parking lot, not the street, parking lot, expressway. It's a big jump.
I like that.
Now, Coach, us being young, how are we adjusting to the varsity level?
Well, I think the one thing that they're adjusting to that you like about young people is they got short memories. We lose by 20, I go home, I have nightmares. They come back the next day, they're smiling. I don't know what's going on, but I think they kind of shake it off. And that's kind of what you want with a young team. They don't like, okay, we got beat by 25, we'll play the next game and then we'll win by 10, So that's the plus of a young team. And then just getting them to understand how hard it is, though, that's probably I think a down with a young team. They don't know because they've never been through the battles. But that's like a pros and cons. The pros, the fact they let it roll off. The con, the fact that they have to realize they have to play that hard all the time.
Now, our next opponent is Douglas for our homecoming game. What are some things you are looking to improve on for that game?
Just consistency, meaning we want to play 4 quarters of our best basketball. And it's hard to teach a team, young team, period. You want to play literally like this is your last game. You want to play like there's no tomorrow. You can't be looking down the line. Douglas, I know the coach. He's won last year's team. Was it last year, last 2 years, they went to the state tournament and they only lost 1 game. So Douglas is tough. I've been coaching against him ever since we were coaching freshmen, and I know he's going to be pressing as soon as they get off the bus. But it's going to be tough, but we just have to learn how to play a full game. That's what we want to see. If we play a full game to our capability, I'll throw us up against almost anybody now.
Coach, I'm excited to see the Red Devils take on the Red Devils. Thank you for joining us today.
No doubt.
Thank you for watching In the Paint with Coach Retusha Spears.
The Red Devils' next game is Friday, January 16th against Douglas High. Girls start at 6, boys at 7:30.
If you would like to see more of our programming, head over to GHS-TV.org. And remember, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube.
We'll see you next time in the paint.